Good evening, everyone. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, April 23rd, 2026 p.m. I would like to invite Terry Arnold with the Pentecostals of East Ridge to come forward and provide our invocation and lead us in our pledge. If everyone will stand if able.
Could we bow our heads? Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight with grateful hearts and thankfulness, Lord, for all the goodness of God upon our city and upon our community. We thank you tonight for our city council and, Lord, that labor of love that they give to our city and the guidance that I know that you're going to give them tonight in all their deliberations. We pray, Lord, your blessings upon this meeting. We ask you, Lord, to bless our first responders, our policemen, and all those that serve our city. And Lord, we ask you for grace and mercy in the coming days. We thank you again, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Here.
Councilmember Cagle,
Here.
Councilmember Ezell,
Here.
Councilmember Witt,
Here.
Interim City Manager Williams,
Here.
Acting City Attorney Ritchie.
All right, the first item we have on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes of the April 9th meeting and declaration of surplus property. I assume everyone's had an opportunity to review those, and I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion approved by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion or corrections? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Consent agenda is approved. We'll move to the next item, is communication with citizens. This is an opportunity for any citizen to come forward and address the council with any questions, concerns, or accolades. I don't know if anybody signed in, but if there's anyone in the audience who would like to come forward, now's your opportunity. You'll have up to 5 minutes. I don't see anyone, so I will move to the next item, which is council communications from council members. I'll start on this side. Councilmember Cagle.
Yes, sir. I'd just like to ask everyone to keep Gerald White's family in their prayers due to the passing of him. Visitations tonight from 4 to 8. Tomorrow, the visitation will start at 11. Funeral will be at 1. It'll be at Chattanooga East over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Tyler.
Nothing for me at this time, Mayor.
Councilmember Witt. Councilmember Ezell.
Nothing this time.
All right, you don't get off that lucky with me. So Parks and Rec, so much going on, and also wanted to kind of shine the light that there is so many things that have been upgraded recently to enhance green spaces. They've made some major improvements across the park. We've got some turf baseball, softball fields. We have a lighted turf soccer field. We've got improvements to our trails, our park connections. We've also updated our canoe launches. And we'd like to extend a sincere thank you to Waterways, along with Tennessee American Water and American Water Charitable Foundation for the support and investment in these upgrades for the canoe launches. We've got arena upgrades. Bathrooms look great. Been there, checked those out for the last two, the home show and the Garden Expo. Of course, the pond is beautiful with the boardwalk, and we've got a lot of improvements to showcase the heart of Camp Jordan for our commitment to recreation, nature, and community. Then on the police side, they are having their Spring into Safety May the 23rd, 10 to 5. It's at Camp Jordan Park. It is there at the pavilion by the RV parking lot. There'll be bounce houses, a bounce house. There'll be simulated traffic stop, seatbelt convincer, drunk driving simulator. So it is cool event to go and attend and learn from this safety event. Then another thing that also it just happened this Monday, so we're very proud to share that, and I got some cool pictures on this. So Monday, the City of East Ridge partnered with Waterways and ASA Engineering and Terracon to install a litter boom in Spring Creek. So this effort was part of an ongoing commitment to improve water quality, reducing pollution, preserving our waterways for future generations. A litter boom is a floating barrier system designed to capture trash, debris, and other floating litter before it can be traveled further downstream by intercepting the waste early, and reduce the environmental harm and make cleanup efforts more efficient. So we'd like to extend a special appreciation to Waterways for organizing and coordinating this, and helping clean out and installing this also with helping with Osprey Initiative and several other community groups that participated. Their teamwork and volunteering spirit has made a major impact on this. So there is going to be ongoing maintenance. We'll continue to ensure that the standards are met to clean up efforts throughout the Spring Creek watershed. So I want to thank everyone that was actually involved in that. Is a good community action, and a lot of people got their boots muddy and got down in the creek doing some cleanup. So that's awesome. Our library, their peep contest. So it's time to come to the library and vote for your favorite peeps. So it is a display they put out. So they're taking one vote per person per day. The voting ends at 6 p.m. next Tuesday, and the winner will be contacted so they can come pick up their prize. And then another thing that is neat is, if everyone remember, April 4th was our anniversary, birthday/anniversary. So April 4th, 1921 was when our city was founded by charter, which was approved by the General Assembly, Tennessee General Assembly. So we just recently celebrated our 105th anniversary/birthday. The library had been doing a lot of posts this month. If you haven't checked the library's social media, Facebook page, they've been putting a lot of little blurbs and pictures from past history, past buildings, families that was involved, activities. So it's cool that they did that, and I encourage everyone to go check that out. And then started talking about the shelter now quite a bit. I've always been heavily supportive and involved in it. So just kind of give an update there. They're currently housing 41 dogs, which includes 2 mother dogs that have puppies. They have 6 additional in foster homes. They have 35 cats, including 2 mother cats that are nursing kittens, along with 16 more in foster care. So there's for several ways I encourage everyone to get involved. So you can adopt, of course, which an animal becomes a permanent part of your family. You can do a trial adoption if you want to try a 2-week period, no fault trial period, and allows adopters to ensure they're a good fit with their family. You can foster, primarily young animals, nursing mothers, or others that need medical needs. And of course, we're always willing to take volunteer. Opportunities range from cleaning, walking dogs, help socialize the cats, kittens, as well as creating enrichment toys and treats. And then kind of wanted to spotlight, and it's difficult as I got the information from the shelter, but 2 individually I wanted to mention that. One of them is a cat, approximately 3 years old. It's been with them for 5 months. Came as a mother to us as a mother cat. So she is she's had a difficult past, but she's feeding herself and she's doing very well. So that'd be a great pet for someone if they like cats. Her name is Velvet. Then Hunter's a 3-year-old pit mix, who unfortunately has been overlooked for several months, probably about 7 months now. Just a loving dog. I have a pit, and they're very loving dogs. They've got a bad rap, but unfortunately, he's been overlooked, and so if someone's interested in a great companion or pet, there's 2 to spotlight on, and we'll definitely encourage anyone, and love to have any help there at the shelter. So that's it for me. I'll pass it to Interim City Manager Williams.
I'll just give a little update on the resurfacing project. I'm pretty sure we're almost 100% complete with that. There's a few small areas that they're looking at still. Some of those were, I think, left over from the previous. They're also taking extra precautionary steps around the Belvoir Avenue area between Fountain Avenue and where the S-curve is there. We're getting prices currently on the foliage where the street lights are to open those up. We've got one that's really an issue. The other two seem to be pretty good. Myself and traffic engineer Crow went out and looked at it. We looked at the lines, we looked at signage, we looked at everything possible we could to come up with a plan. We sat down with the engineer, Jeff Sykes, and discussed this. Jeff made some really good recommendations on high visibility striping, both on the outside, travel on both lanes, as well as down the center. Lane markers down the center. And this will basically look like a runway. So when you come into that curve, it's gonna really light it up. Looking at about 100 foot of guardrail. All this appears to be, what we're looking at right now is gonna be paid for out of that resurfacing project. We've got a little bit of money left over. So we're not seeing that costing the city anymore currently. Of course, anything can happen, but up front, that's where we are right now. I think Jeff Sykes has put a lot into it. I think he's looking at it from every direction. Safety, of course, is our number one concern up there because we've had so many accidents. When we took and roughed the road up, all that just almost went away. Well, we're looking at different things. Why did it go away? Was it speed reduction or, just different things? I think having our police up there doing speed reduction is a good thing. However, when we still have our DUIs come through there, we're still gonna have accidents. It don't matter what we do, where we're at. The prime example, McBride, Ringo Road, DUI hits a police car and turns it over. So we're taking those extra precautions. I'll keep the council aware of those. Tomorrow also, TDOT will be closing the Belleville Bridge, going over for a ceremony of opening the interstate and completing the interstate. So they will have TDOT trucks in place. They have notified our fire and police to make alternate routes if need be. And so there'll be a little bit of congestion there for 3 to 4 hours, I think. So we'll play that and see how that goes. But I don't see any major issues with 3 or 4 hours. But that's basically all I have right now. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. All right, we do not have any old business, so we'll move to new business. Item A, resolution number 3811.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge establishing the rules and regulations for a tent lottery relative to the 2026 primary election to be held on May 5th, 2026.
Thanks, sir. I'll go ahead and kind of mention this, and I'll let Ms. Dietrich weigh in. I believe that the main item here is just adding the venue 1921 into this resolution due to the fact that the community center is closed, so the primary election will now be conducted at venue 1921. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, that is correct, but it is just for this year's primary election.
Only.
And then afterward, everything will move back to the community center moving forward.
So the tent requirements, sizes, that all stays the same. All it is just insertion of 1921 because of signs and stuff may need to be a little, it's not gonna be seen out in front of the city hall here. So that's why they introduced 1921 into this. It's still the same requirements coming from the election commission, the certain distance from the polling location, so on and so forth. So that is how it was explained to me from City Attorney Litchford.
So where is the tents gonna be located? Because of the distance, 50 foot from the door back, it's gonna be hard to put them over there at venue 21.
We are currently looking at that. It very well may end up that they have to stay where they've been in the past, but this would allow us the opportunity to potentially line them up in different areas to have better exposure for the people going to the polling site. If we line them up where we have in the past, people may come in off of Ringgold and cross through the back to get to the venue, or they may pass that first entrance to City Hall, go to the second entrance to go around the side, and may not pass the candidate. So we're just trying to look at that, and we want to have the flexibility to be able to put them in different areas by including venue 1921.
I'll make a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Could we, up here by the playground, make that one way around, or down here, one way around, and put the tents?
Well, I think
I'm gonna look at police and I'm gonna look at the interim manager here.
we had spoke with Mr. Lynchford about placement of the tents. Of course, we looked at the voting commission. We contacted them on distance and stuff like that from the voting precinct. This is our issue. We have two entrances. We'll have traffic coming in on both sides. So Mark suggested maybe 6 down one side and 6 down the other side, away from the voting precinct. However, if we put them over on the side where the parking lot is, adjacent to where you first pull into McBride, in that area, I don't know if that will be soothing or happy for those people. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. They want to be visually seen. I get it. 100%. I think what the council needs to do is probably come up with the best and throw some things out there. We don't know. We've never run into this before.
Would it be impossible to put, like you said, the entrance on the McBride side, using that land, say there's 10, put 10 over there and they have 10 over there also. One person has a different representative for each tent. They'd have a tent on that entrance and this entrance.
So both sides are covered for the
Yes.
same, for the candidate.
Yeah,
That's, the only issue there is it says there's only one, on item 2, it only says that there is only one tent site allowed per candidate, so that'd have to be changed.
make an amendment.
Yeah,
just-
we can make an
just
amendment for this,
primary.
for this primary, absolutely. Chief, I see you want to say something. Come forward.
I may be overstepping bounds here. If I'm understanding what, Councilman Cagle wants, to clarify, make the one on the south side of City Hall exit only, make this one, entrance only. If we're going to do that, we're gonna have to put a cop there for the entirety, because you can put all the signs you want, and they're still gonna come the wrong way. I mean, it could be done, it's just that we would have to need notice and accommodations, because we'll have to man that for a pretty extended period of time. Going in and out.
So the discussion you're saying is coming in on the library side and going out on the playground side, or is it the reverse?
No, you would keep anybody from coming in on the south side, and you would bring them all in up behind Speedway on the north side. Was that the suggestion from what?
I suggested it didn't matter which way we made the entrance or the exit, but it would give more visibility to the people that's putting the tents up, because whichever way the one way is, that we can put all 10 tents there, they all gotta drive by it.
You got the tent, you got room for the tents over here on the
Right.
library side, for sure.
Right.
So you can make that the entrance and make the,
Make both of those entrances and then make McBride your exit. I think that might be easier. You can't come out, because we have 2 roads that will come in on the south side. You have that dedicated lane itself, and you can actually come into the library and go up there as well.
correct.
So if you made those the entrances, we could basically just put a cop there at the beginning of that and send everybody out that way. But we'd have to man it, I guess, was the point I was getting to. We're gonna have to pull an extra car in to make sure that.
But I just think about more visibility for the candidates.
Right.
And ask people for them to have to get to volunteer to man their tent.
Yeah, then it would only go back to the one tent or leave it as it is. But that requires more manpower.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a cop. I mean, we could put any employee out there and put them in a.
Okay.
Fire department do it, Mayor.
Yeah.
All right, any other, we kind of got out of order, but there's some good discussion. Anything else? And I'm gonna ask for a motion for resolution number 3811.
So this is just for the primary in May, right?
This is for
Nobody else.
this is for the primary, this is solely for the primary in May. That's in the memo from Mr. Litchford, and it says that in the resolution as well. So I'll entertain a motion for Resolution number 3811.
So if we make a motion, do we have to put that one way or just make a motion for this? Do we need to add anything about the one-way entrance?
Shouldn't have to.
I don't think we have to add anything for the entrance. That'll just be traffic control and police handling that.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 3811.
There'll also have to be some stipulations on the tents.
Well, that's already baked in, so that's already in there, the size and everything, yeah, that's in here as well, 12 by 12 max. All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Witt, and we have a second by Councilmember Ezell. Do you have any discussion? That was for approval. See none, roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes,
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes, resolution number 3811 approved. We'll move to item B, resolution number 3812.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge authorizing the interim city manager to advertise for bids for the replacement of the East Ridge Community Center concession cabinets and countertops.
Thanks, sir. Ms. Collins.
Yes, Mayor and Council. I'm requesting City Council to approve to go out to bid for replacement of the concession casework cabinets and countertops at the East Ridge Community Center. Included in your packets, I gave you preliminary pricing that we had Pillar come up for us to complete this project. At this time, this would be the last project in the community center that would need to be upgraded, and we would be 100% upgraded.
Thank you, ma'am.
Said I'd ask one project at a time.
You good?
Jeff
Okay.
was laughing at me.
All right, council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3812.
Make a motion to approve resolution 3812.
Second.
I have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, is this for the senior room kitchen and the gym concession?
No, the kitchen's already been done. This will be the concession area. When you walk in, you have the cabinets that are in the L shape. It will be those that are redone, that have the old green tops, the old tan doors that are coming off that have been there since the building began or was installed or built. And I did include examples of what we would like for it to look like in there when you come in.
Any other questions? All right, I have one. Always go like, so I see the cabinets are going around the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So currently there's like you'll walk up, there's a tabletop there or a countertop when you walk up. Is that now going to be all open in there?
So what we'll do is in that corner there, it will not have a cabinet so that you would be able to basically sit into the corner, check people in, welcome them into the center, and then you have your cabinets underneath there. And then your front facing, as you'll see, and I sent it, it's just not in the packet. There is a front page that's missing, I'm sorry, that has the front. It's just not in the packet. It may have been one of the last scans I did, or I could have left it out, I apologize. But the front will look just like this, but it will just be a front. It
Okay.
won't have the cabinets there.
Okay.
So, and then it won't have the arm that goes over anymore. It'll just be a walk-through. And then
Okay.
we're gonna take the sink out from over there too and cap that off, since it's a concession and we have the full standing kitchen behind us with a 3-sink compartment.
Okay, awesome. That was my question
I'll
or
send
confusion.
that to y'all, I'm sorry. Again, I may not have scanned it to Miss Jennifer, so you can see the front too.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? I'll see none. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes,
Councilmember Ezell, Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3812 approved. We'll move to item C, resolution number 3813.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge approving a service agreement with MCS Facility Services for janitorial and facility services at venue 1921 at East Ridge.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Vian.
Hi, good evening, Council and Mayor. Yes, so I'm coming back with the provisions that were requested in the last meeting. We created the 6-month agreement along with the 30-day out and got that down to hourly. And so I am in hopes that we can get a contract with MCS. They were able to come in Saturday on a one-off and did a great job. It was a great relief to have them in the building. So I'm happy to answer any questions moving forward. We'll get it going.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3813.
Make a motion to approve resolution 3813.
Have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Tower and second by Councilmember Whitt. Do we have any discussion? Yes, sir.
I noticed we got a pricing sheet here today.
Yes, sir.
All righty. MCS has come in with $300 per event for a small or medium.
Excuse me?
MCS has come in with a small and medium event for $300. That'll be plus a minimum of $69 an hour. So that'll be added on top of the $300.
No, sir. It's a minimum of $69 per.
That's what I said, $69.
You said per hour.
Okay. Are they furnishing a porter?
There's no need for them to furnish a porter unless a client wants. So it's a service that a client could use through them if they'd like. It's more of an add-on. It's not something that we would have in-house for every single event. So the porter, day cleaners, like I said, is an option. Say if somebody wanted bathroom attendants for their event, they could use the company for that if they chose.
All righty, and I noticed one here bidded cleaning of the kitchen for $100. So is the $300 including the cleaning of the kitchen?
Cleaning of the kitchen. Hold on, let me see what you're seeing. Can you let me know which page you're on, Councilman Cagle?
I only got one page.
Is that handout? Do you have it?
I've only got one page.
He's referencing the bids that
Submissions.
came in that were approved last time. It was approved to negotiate a contract with MCS. He's referencing the pricing that they submitted in their bid.
Oh, gotcha. So this is the submissions received from the 3 different businesses that we interviewed. This is not the contract. This right here where you're seeing the kitchen is for $100 is from Impact Facility Solutions, who is someone who bid, but that is not who we're going with. MCS LLC is who I presented at the last meeting, and that's who we adjusted to with the contract. So I'm unsure where,
So my
under
question,
resolution number 3813 is where the actual contract for y'all to review is.
okay, you made up my mind, thank you.
I'm so sorry. This is just for a different company, Councilman Cagle. It's not
I think
theirs.
you were asking the $300 MCS charge, is it including the kitchen? Where it's a separate item for Impact Facility Solutions. Is that what your question was?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha. So yeah, so what we discussed was doing the hourly, which does include the kitchens, the main halls, the restrooms, cleaning up around the parking lots, whatever is needed, the patio, to get the place ready for the next event day. I apologize. I didn't understand what you were asking.
All right. Any other questions? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler?
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle?
No,
Councilmember Ezell? Councilmember Witt?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Yes. Resolution number 3813 approved. We'll move to item D, discussion of safe streets and
Thank you.
roads for all federal grant program. Sorry, I read it. He's got it. Mr. McAllister. Is this not already in the book? No, I mean, the book was big enough already.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, this is an item for discussion. This is the 2026 Safe Streets and Roads for All SS4A federal grant program, and it is being administered by the U.S. Department of Transportation. This program is focused specifically on reducing roadway fatalities, serious injuries through targeted safety improvements such as intersections, pedestrian infrastructure, traffic operations, and similar eligible projects. It is important to note that the routine paving, roadway resurfacing efforts, and/or ongoing maintenance projects would not qualify under this federal program. However, there are two main grant tracks that are available through this program, and the first one would be a planning grant, and that is used to fund development of standalone best practices and a local safety action plan for the city. And the second option would be an implementation grant, which would fund actual construction or safety improvements, but would require the city to qualify under a safety action plan that is already in place. Eastridge is included in the comprehensive safety action plan that I just handed out, which funds construction or safety improvements, but would require some additional improvements in the plan for the city to qualify. Additionally, I have supplied you all with 3 different pages of the Transportation Improvement Plan, which includes City of Eastridge projects drafted by the Metropolitan Planning Organization. Earlier this week, I contacted and sat down with Melissa Taylor. She is the Director of Transportation Planning for the Chattanooga Metropolitan Planning Organization, and she advised that it would be important for us to note that while this is a large funding opportunity, it is also a very demanding federally funded program. Additionally, she had several questions about internal staff capacity here at the city in order to take on a project of this size, which would include additional things for a successful application. First and foremost, the city would need to prepare technical data, surveys, crash statistics, support letters from local and county officials, and if awarded, significant reporting and administrative management would be ongoing for the duration of the award. Additionally, some high injury network information would be required from either the city's traffic control department or an outside consultant for the city to hire in order to collect this data, and it is a key component for a very competitive federally funded application. Additionally, I would ask that council be aware that this program would require a 20% match of the awarded funds, which goes along with staffing capacity or an outside consultant group to help us manage both the application and the compliance process if we were to reach an award. Additionally, the deadline to submit this program application is May 26th, 2026, which creates a relatively short preparation window for myself and any other consultant groups that we may bring on board to help collect the data, considering the scope and the complexity of this application. Given the timeline of the program and the application, along with current approved leave time for myself and ongoing departmental workload and the level of documentation provided, additional staffing support or a consultant group to take on this would be advised not only by myself but the MPO program director, who is also applying for this grant for the county agency. So tonight, the key question, or the key policy question, is whether council would like for us to proceed or further evaluate pursuing this grant application, and/or potentially evaluating our interest for a future funding cycle, and/or holding off and preparing a match within the next budget session. My recommendation would be if council has interest in moving forward, we should also evaluate the consultant or partner support. This would exceed a current one staffing capacity for all of our grant administration, which currently we have $14 million worth of active grant funded programs at this time. Additionally, I handed you all a packet that had 3 pages. The first one saying E-STIP. That is a copy of the 3 projects that the city of Eastridge is currently working on. The first one is labeled Eastridge Resurfacing Grouping. This funding was grouped together and swapped with some other funding pots on the federal level that were used to pay for the costs associated with the multimodal pathway project along Ringgold Road. If you look over to the local fund side, the remaining funding that was from the multimodal project was reassigned to an Eastridge grouping project that will ultimately assist in the payments towards the Mack Smith Road and Scruggs Road reconstruction configuration projects set to go into effect in 2027. So the local funds that will be necessary from the city would be $314,438. On the second page, you'll see where they identified the roadway reconstruction for Scruggs Road specifically, which alone would ask for $104,000 for the city's match on that project. And the last page is the John Ross Road resurfacing project. While that project is complete and open to the general public, the funding for that project has not been yet completed. If you remember correctly, a couple months back, I came before the council to ask for consideration of some additional funds being obligated to this project, and it would require the city to pay for the overage of the contractor up front, and then in hopes we would be reimbursed by TDOT. The good news is, yes, TDOT did obligate additional funding for this project, so they will be reimbursing the city for the overage of the contractor. And if you look below, the local funds for the match on John Ross Road is $908. I apologize. So the majority of the John Ross overage there in the local funded area is being covered by TDOT, so that's not a huge point there, but I would like for you all to consider the 2 matches that we have already committed to regarding Mack Smith Road and Scruggs Road prior to considering the application for the SS4A match. That's all. Thank you.
Council, open for discussion or questions? Yes, sir.
On Scruggs Road,
Yes, sir.
when they went down there and looked at that, there was a discussion about raising the low spot so it wouldn't flood. Is that included in this?
Yes, sir. They will be restabilizing the entire roadway and raising surface level of the road.
Any other questions?
What firm would we hire to help try to get all the paperwork ready for this that fast?
That's a great question. So my first thought would be that we could reach out to the Southeast Tennessee Development District. However, to be perfectly honest, we've worked with them in the past on several different funding programs, and it has been determined that they're not always the best at that type of work. Additionally, during that time frame, former city manager Miller withdrew the annual dues to the development district, so the city no longer contributes to them. Therefore, we are ineligible to utilize their grant management staff for this program. Additionally, following the city's purchasing and procurement guidelines, we would be required to go out to bid in order to, or a RFP process in order to find a consultant that could assist with this. And at this time, I'm not certain that we have the time to do that.
Good done.
I'm not sure we could either.
Have you had an opportunity, you and the chief police looked at this about, because some of this stuff is safety action, safety statistics and stuff. Have y'all had an opportunity to gather and look at this information as well?
No, Mayor, as soon as I received that information, I forwarded it to Cameron, so Cameron can start doing research research on the grant to see if it, you know, if it will apply to our needs, the city's needs. I think Councilman Cagle had reached out during that. He had also received a copy of it or something in an email about this, and so we were right in the middle of it trying to figure out what we could do. So I figured it was a good time to go ahead and bring that in front of council and leave it up to council's decision on which route they want to take.
Is this a one and done, or is this an annual? So
It's
this
an-
is annual.
Most recently, they have seen the federal allocation being made available every other fiscal year,
And you have to have this submitted, you said, by May
May 26th.
26th.
And I will note that I will be out of the office May 4th through the 12th. So there's a substantial time during this time frame that I will not be here.
Well, I'll ask thoughts.
I thought would be to put it to the next fiscal budget. I don't see trying to get something together that fast and accurate and be able to agree with it in 30 days.
Yeah, especially with something that's required this much oversight and attention to detail that we don't have the time or attention to pay to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for getting the roads fixed.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
might
not-
might I add, this funding is not for road resurfacing, maintenance, or paving. This is strategically a funded program to implement safety for traffic statistics and crash data. So one thing that Councilman Cagle had asked on the front end is, does this program pay for roadway resurfacing efforts? And the answer is no. This is specifically for designated plans or designs in order to implement safety traffic patterns or I hate to say roundabouts or any other something or another that may prevent safety in the future. So the federal funds are for studies or implementation. So currently we are a part of the Comprehensive Safety Action Plan for Chattanooga-Hamilton County. We only have 1 to 4 pages within this plan. Typically they like to see the requesting or grantee have their own safety plan. However, we are eligible to apply as a part of the Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, but we do not have the traffic statistics, the crash studies, or anything else that would be required to submit the application. Additionally, the ongoing reporting on the federal level is consistent every 30 days.
So you have to have all the statistics before you can even submit this on May 26th.
Correct.
I mean, I just don't think it's impossible.
Yeah.
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 I appreciate you bringing it forward.
Absolutely. And the reason
And
that
plan for future.
Yes, absolutely. And the reason I brought it before is it was sent to myself and interim city manager Williams by several of you on the council, and so I didn't want you all to think that we were pushing it off or ignoring it, but there was some significant research that needed to be done before we could make a decision on how to proceed.
Yeah, I think we push this to Mr. Coral. Have it on his I'll have it on his plan.
Uh-oh.
You gotta walk in
I'll
with a
let you
full
do
plate.
that. All right, got a consensus. We feel that it's best not to rush this and try to plan for. Yes.
Yeah, Cameron used my favorite word, roundabouts.
I would encourage you all to take a look at the portion in the Comprehensive Safety Action Plan for Eastridge specifically. There were several planners that were assigned to creating this safety action plan. Scott and I were both very involved trying to get this drafted about a year and a half ago. Some of the data seems to be relevant to Eastridge, and other portions kind of seem like a copy and paste section, if you would. So I would encourage you all to take a look at this, and if we want to entertain the idea of drafting an action plan over the next few months or a year or so, then certainly something that we can look into. The most important factor is just the funding that would need to be available to A, pay for the plan, but B, submit the application to support this, or the match rather.
Yeah, and the only thing to add to that is too, is we're in the mix of a budget cycle. So this would complicate that as well.
And that's what the E-STIP letters are for, just to show you what matches the city has already committed to associated with Mac Smith and Scruggs Road.
I wouldn't mind getting involved, but I just think we're just not quite prepared for it. All right, any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
That is the last item on the agenda, so now it's discussion of the tentative agenda for May 14th, 2026. We have no old business, but under new business, we will have a public hearing for an unnumbered ordinance for the rezoning of 1502 Swope Drive from R2 Residential Duplex District to C2 Commercial District, followed by the ordinance. Mr. Howell.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. So on April the 6th, 2026, the East Ridge Plan Commission reviewed the rezoning application for the property located at 1502 Swope Drive for the rezoning of R2 to C2. This request to rezone is an expansion of the EAA Power Sports with a proposed standalone building being constructed at the 1502 Swope parcel. The Planning Commission did recommend approval for the rezoning with conditions, and I would be more than happy to read those conditions for everyone if they would like. Number one, install a 6-foot privacy fence to the southern property line. To limit the building height, current building maximum height for the C2 commercial district is 72 feet with a 4-foot parapet wall. In the R1 district, the max height is 35 feet. Implement exterior lighting guidelines to minimize light spillover into the residential neighborhoods, and establish use conditions to limit potential nuisances adjacent to the residential properties. Those would include regulations for automobile service stations, car washes, repair garages, ambulance services, miniature golf courses, drive-in theaters, outdoor amusement, recreational vehicle camps, and other camping facilities, or any other that City Council would allot to that as well. That's all, Mayor.
Thanks, sir. Questions, council?
Yes. Did you not report last time when this was brought up that the next house and the one across the street is zone commercial? Is that correct?
That's correct, Councilman Easel. They are both.
So the brick across the street that has a person that's been living in it for a long time, but anyway. How do they pay commercial property tax or do they pay R1 property tax?
So the one Woodard Circle and the 1504 Swope Drive are both zoned commercial but pay residential property taxes.
How does that happen? It's like having your cake and eat it too. I want to sell it commercial, but I want to live in it R1 and pay the taxes for R1. Is there not something that blocks that? Says it's this or that?
That's a very good question, because I think the tax assessor, when they look at these things, then go to the pull out from how this is identified. Basically, like the 1502 property, even though it's zoned R2, it's taxed at a 40% apartment complex rate, so it's considered commercial property.
I understand it right. We have more commercial zoned homes that are R1 property taxed. Basically down behind Chick-fil-A in that neighborhood. Is that not correct?
I believe there are some in that area. There are many of these rezones are these C2s that have R1 or single family homes on them.
So can we look and find out if that is actually even legal? I mean,
Well, that'd
it
be a
would-
question for the tax assessor's office, correct, Mr. Howell?
It would, how it's assessed.
I would like to know. I mean,
I would more than
you
happy.
go to sell it,
Yeah.
everybody will sell it for commercial. You get twice as much money, but they only pay taxes for a residential house R1. So it seems to me like we're getting the shaft.
Was this part of that rezoning they did, where they did all the blanket stuff? Because I know we have lots of duplexes that are R1 that were part of blanket rezoning.
Non-conforming?
Yes, so the one Woodard Circle was originally zoned LB, which is local business, prior to 1989, which then when the city adopted ordinance 481, it became C2 general commercial. It's always been a local business district, it just now operates.
Interesting.
And if I'm not mistaken, that this R2 was at one time also commercial. And back in 95, it got rezoned to R1.
The 1502, Mayor, is that the one we're?
No, I'm talking about, yes, 1502. At one point in time, it was commercial, then it got rezoned to, back to R1.
My understanding of the applicant, when he submitted to RPA, they had mentioned that in his narrative that it was actually never zoned C2, but it may, and I can look back in the map and see if that LV encroached onto that, Mayor. That's not, I know right offhand if it was.
It's all in the past, and we know what we're being asked in for the future, but, you know, it does bring up questions, as Councilmember Ezell had as well, concerning the way things are being handled. Yes, sir.
I asked the same question that Mr. Ezell just asked a couple of years ago. The answer I got from the property assessor was, it is taxed as it's being used. If it's being used as residential, they tax it as residential. If it's being used as commercial, they taxed it as commercial. And that's what I was told a couple of years ago. And the piece of property we're talking about, I don't know if any of y'all remember, but where the motorcycle shop is being built, that used to be built up, it had all apartments across the top, and there was nothing underneath because it had to be steps leading upstairs. So I'm saying that might have been zoned residential all the way out to Ringo Road at one time.
I can verify that with some of the old maps if need be.
All right, any other questions this time?
I got one.
Yes, sir.
Swope, did they get repaved yet? That road over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I haven't drove by there yet, but,
And Woodard.
okay, and Woodard Circle too?
Remember, they were planned to be resurfaced last year.
Yeah,
And did not, so that's not something that just occurred
Because of
now
this.
because of this. This was something that was on the plan for
Yeah, that was on the carryover
last year, and
list.
that was the carryover list and got addressed first this year. Did you want to add something? Okay.
I just drove by there the other day and I was like, oh, this road is awful.
Yeah,
But
should have
I'm
been
glad-
done last
glad
year.
it got done.
I see the Congress wasn't addressed. I mean,
Lazard.
Lazard. They have got it, correct? Lazard has been completed. It hadn't been done. They bypassed it. I don't know. Okay.
My understanding is they've got a few more streets to do in a couple weeks when they're coming back, so we need to see if that's on the list. Was that on this year's list?
Last year's list.
Well, then it needs to be addressed.
Last
Vin-
street on the list.
All right, a little off topic, but
Yeah,
good
sorry.
conversation. It's all right. Any other questions on ordinance, the unnumbered ordinance rezoning 1502? Swope. All right. Then the next item would be a public hearing and then following the, another unnumbered ordinance for the mobile food vending. Sal, is this you again?
Yes, Mayor and Council, I believe we're almost a year into this. June will be almost here. I think we started at 18 of 2025. So, Mayor and Council, on April the 6th, 2026, the East Ridge Planning Commission reviewed the mobile food truck ordinance and recommended it be forwarded to the City Council for final approval. The ordinance will be presented to the City Council during its regular meeting on May 14th for its consideration. Thank you.
You don't want to give us any details?
I do not.
Council, any questions? We have kicked this one and discussed it a lot, but I'm sure we can continue to prove it in the future, but it's a good foundation to start with.
Thank you for your
Yes,
excellent
thank
work on
you.
all this too.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Anything else? Any questions?
I got one thing I'd like to ask to Ms. Shauna.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Is the soccer stadium complete, ready to use?
It has been in use already. It's been in use since the second week of February.
Being used.
Yes, we have people renting it online. Chad put it online for people to rent, and go in and pay up front when they rent it, just like we do select baseball and softball. Yes, sir, it's online.
I was asking, you've had two big tournaments, and I was gonna ask you if it was used during those.
Yes. And we're in the process now of an 8-foot fence going around it.
Yeah, I saw that. Looks
Because
good.
people taking their dogs on there and not cleaning up is not how it's going to be done. So that 8-foot fence is going up around it right now. That will complete that project. But yes, no, we have used it for those tournaments, and then we also have we have Scenic City this weekend, and then we have the Red Bulls tournament coming up in 2 weeks too. So
Rated different than the other 11 fields,
is it what, sir?
rated different.
Rated different?
Granted,
Yes, oh yes. So for one full day to rent the soccer field for that one day is $900, which is the cheapest in town. Chad charges $60 an hour to rent it out. So again, we have the pro team renting it, the Select Academy, UTC just rented it out. We have the homeschool, Notre Dame is renting it out. It's first come, first serve. It's whoever goes on there. Now, if it's games on the weekends, they do go through chat and email. But like Monday through Thursday, like I do select softball and baseball up top on 9 through 12, they can do the same thing on the stadium field. Go online and rent it, and we get an email. They have a 4-day lead time so that we're able to plan. He's kicking my butt in rentals. I pulled the reports the other day for Diane, and Chad's killing me on that side. Because I'm not renting out the turf fields yet. I'm only using those for our recreation children or our tournaments on the weekends. I've not opened those fields up to the public to rent except for tournaments and our own children in our programs.
You're talking about the baseball, softball field.
Yes, because soccer, they wear the turf shoes, they do that already. So they're already sensible. But with select softball and baseball, according to what age groups use those fields, they have steel cleats versus the molded or turf shoes. And it's harder to police, and we don't always have, someone right there at the fields every night because we have park attendants going around. So I don't want to take the chance of someone ruining the turf. Where in tournaments and rec play, we're down there every night. So I try to be accountable for that. Because like in the video I released this week that we had done, you can see the tracks kind of around like first, second, third going around. And each week we have to take like a brush, an electric brush thing where we like scoop everything back into place and do that. And then we got our stand-up blower, and they've been blowing debris off of the fields and everything too. So we've been trying to keep it up. So, but we had our first baseball tournament on this weekend, and they all loved it. And we got a new 2-piece mound that's lightweight that worked very well, and it wasn't one of the big mounds that have had like the sand and the dirt in it for years, and it worked really good. And it came from a local company down in Dalton with All-Star Mounds, so that's good for turf, and it doesn't put the indentions into your field.
Video is real nice.
Matt Hoover did a very, very good job on that. He did those pond pictures for us a few years ago and sent them to me. And he did, I think, a few headshots for some of the council members. He also did some other projects for Cameron, because I sent Cameron his information, and then he did our venue 1921 opening. He also did our fall festival last year. But he walks the track every day with his mother and sends me stuff all the time. And so I just reached out and said, hey, can I commission you to do some stuff for me? I really want to get some shots at night when our lights come on. I want to get some close-up shots. Cameron had already been down and taken some shots. I had our team sending us pictures too that I've been posting online every few days, like making sure I thank all of our coaches and parents and players for being at Camp Jordan, just trying to highlight all of the sports and everything that we've got going on. And then with the canoe launches, I've posted the before and after pictures because that was act of love with me and Cameron. So if it's not said enough, the things I get done in my park are not by me and my crew and just Chad. Cameron is embedded in everything I do down there with the grants. I mean, to where I talk to him, I think more than I talk to my own husband daily, because there's not a project I don't think right now I'm working on that Cameron's not working on it with me. So I'm very thankful for what he does for us too. And it was something me and him had talked about, and it gave me the idea to get the video done. And you know, the pro team out there practicing, and then the lights coming on, especially with the LED ones. We never really showcased that last year, that we had switched over to some of the LED on those 5 fields. So I just really wanted to get it out there, and I wanted to make sure council knew how thankful I was when I made my post yesterday. And city
Thank you.
admin too.
Very proud of it.
Yes. All right, council, any other business we needed to consider for the tentative agenda from May 14th? I see none then. All right. Thanks everyone for attending tonight. This meeting is adjourned.